'cause you love rugby. So what you think of this tax fee?
Right, we are back. Another podcast. And we've got Rees here.
Back, mate.
Back in rugby.
By popular demand. Fans vote.
Yeah.
They wanted me back and I'm here. I've come straight from work.
Yeah.
But I do wish this was my full-time job. I might quit.
Where's your lanyard gone?
Oh, my lanyard. Sure, it's left in the car.
Right, so this is your idea, this one as well. So
It was,
do you want to
mate.
explain your idea?
It is. Well, Dav, as you know, you're the same as me. We constantly watch YouTube clips of rugby skills and offloads and tackles. And I thought, what better way than to celebrate all of those moments than with a Moments of Brilliance 15. And I thought it'd be a really, really good one to do. So just to give you a bit of a background on this. This is mainly single moments of brilliance.
Yeah.
So it could be a piece of skill, a tackle, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, if there is an absolutely sublime performance or group of performances, then we can chuck those in there. But it is mainly, for the viewers out there and for the listeners, it is single moments of brilliance mainly.
Yeah. It's funny because I was going through the list with Sean of like potential episodes. I said, I'm doing one with Rees this one. He went, oh, save that one for me. And I was like, I can't. I was like, I can't, because it was Rees's idea.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, he was like,
Well,
oh. And he was like, fuck, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, well, I have included some Welsh players for him, so hopefully it's listenable for him.
Yeah.
So,
I think I've got one position which I struggled with, a moment of brilliance, but it's like, it'll make sense when I do it.
I was the same. I literally forwards, racking my brain for
Really?
hours and hours and hours and hours.
See, I had a few. I've got a few.
Facts. I could have had about 12 honourable mentions per one.
Yeah, true.
Just,
but that's me being a forward and you being a back as well.
yeah,
Isn't
of course it is.
it? So, should we start at number one? It's a good place to start.
Absolutely.
You tell you what, you can start.
I mentioned this guy in another podcast, on the other one that I did, and he's been mentioned numerous times. I think he's probably the most frequent name that comes up. But I've gone with Gethin Jenkins for his try versus Namibia in the 2011 World Cup.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
We've talked about it, we've shown it, but guess what? It deserves to be shown again. Because that's how good it was. Props should not be doing that. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
But,
Phil.
yeah,
Absolute film.
ridiculous try for a loose head.
Funnily enough, I've also got a Gethin Jenkins moment in mind, but it's not this. Not this try. This try, like, I always find, like, he's playing against a bunch of fucking farmers.
Yeah. Yeah, but yours is probably a line-out lift, like perfect technique or something.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a decent one, but no, yeah, that
Look
is
at that.
ridiculous. I love his little dummy kick in it as well.
Yeah. Dummy kick, show and go, sidestep, just got it all.
Yeah.
A back could be proud of that try.
Yeah. Well, my moment was the charge down against Ireland.
Oh, yeah,
So,
true.
like, I don't know how long it had been since Wales had won a Grand Slam, but this was our opportunity. And it's not a very exciting try, but it was like the start.
I mean, the hack through, that does take some skill.
It does, yeah. But
The
like,
dive gets a 0.5 out of 10, right?
it was the moment. Like,
Yeah.
It was the moment of first Grand Slam game in however many years. And it was 3-3. It was like, we've got, and then he just comes up with that and scores. And he was an active
Huge.
player.
Yeah.
I also had the Tony Woodcock try World Cup final.
Oh, yeah. Pinching it.
We talked about that in the last pod, and I showed a video of that.
Yeah.
But the only other one I've got is so Japan against Scotland in the World Cup. You know, when they were absolutely amazing.
Was it in the 2019 World Cup? That
Yeah,
one?
2019
Yes,
World Cup.
I do.
And they scored this try, and I think this just summed up their tournament. They were so good. And it's finished off by the loose head prop, Inaki. But there's something I love about this try so much. Just offloads between the forwards and like Japan dumping Scotland out of a World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine Japan even beating Scotland now?
In their home World Cup, I think, as well. And that, for me, is where people will probably say the turning point for Japan was when they beat South Africa. But I think, to be honest with you, if you look at that whole World Cup, that was a one-off game, and it was brilliant, don't get me wrong. But I actually think their turning point now to being recognised as a sort of a serious team was that World Cup.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's All Blacks type of play in that try. Do you know what I mean?
And they've fallen off a little bit recently, Japan. But like that World Cup, they were so exciting. Well, 2 World Cups in a row, they were just so exciting to watch. And like Eddie Jones going back. But yeah, that try was just something incredible. Just interplay between the forwards. It was like built up to that as well. There was loads of phases beforehand.
It's what you want rugby to be, isn't it? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's what everyone aspires. It's what they want to watch.
And
What coach aspires to play, you know.
And they're playing to their strengths as well, weren't
Yeah.
they? Like they, you know. So I loved that moment, and it was like it's one of my favourite tries. So yeah, I had that. So who goes in?
Well, I think we put Gethin Jenkins in just for the fact we've both mentioned him, and
Yeah.
for two separate reasons and two different moments of brilliance. I think
Definitely.
he deserves to go in there for that.
And I could put Gethin Jenkins in every single team, to be honest. I just love him. Okay, hooker. I'll start with hooker. I've got two. And one of them you can just pick your moment, which is Dane Cole scoring outrageous tries all of the time.
Yeah.
But quite recently, the Stuart McNally try.
Was it the one against England by any chance?
Against England.
Yeah.
And what I love about this try is he's obviously a hooker, charged down to use his speed. It's who's chasing him. So he's got Farrell and Johnny May, possibly the fastest man on the planet. And he does them both. And I'm pretty sure he does Farrell for speed there.
He does, 100% he does. Farrell was actually going away from Farrell there.
And that is just an individual sheer moment of absolute brilliance.
Hookers shouldn't look like that either, should they?
He's in amazing shape, isn't he?
Cracking shape. There's elbow rig on him.
Was that was this year, was it?
Well, no, this was
because I haven't heard much.
That was the year that Wales won the Grand Slam 2019. I'm pretty sure, because that was the final game.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was, because I remember being down Llandaff Rugby Club, the greatest rugby club on the planet, and all of us watching it down there because we were like, England have won that game, and then all of a sudden, just Scotland scored about 5 tries back to back.
Yeah, well, so I had that down. Dane Coles, he scores loads of wonder tries, and I had. There's a few Keith Wood 50-20 would be 50-22s. We talked about in the last pod, but they were my shouts.
Yeah, Dane Coles was one of mine as well. And like you said, pick your moment. Yeah. You could pick so many different moments. I'd probably say the best hooker maybe in the loose that I've seen in terms of skills, ability. Yeah. He was a bit more like Schalk Brits probably is up there. He was out there.
But you got to remember Dane Coles was doing it at international level.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah, I think Schalk Brits, in terms of in the loose, is probably just as good. But if you look at moments of brilliance and skills,
one of the tries.
I think Dane Coles overtakes him in that aspect. My other person, which is a bit of a niche one, and I remember looking at this guy ages ago, was Asafa Amua. Do you know the current New Zealand hooker?
Yeah.
So he was playing for Wellington. It was a try he scored for Wellington back when he first came onto the scene. And he gassed the fullback, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've seen that try.
It was,
that's
bad.
You're going to have to spell me a name.
That was the Ghana elections. I don't think that was it. So he scored this unbelievable try. The gas on him was unbelievable. And then I just got sucked into this vortex of Asafa Amua videos. Yeah. And he's like benching like 200 kilos. And like he's just sheer pace on him as a hooker for Wellington. Like the gas is the fucking winger on the outside.
Puts the feet on him.
Puts the feet on him and he's gone. Like unbelievable try. And like that's when everyone was going, this is the new guy, like, do you know what I mean? And I think you saw like in his performance against Ireland now, he's going to be an All Black for a long time now. He's going to be...
And they've been looking for a hooker for a...
there you are. Asafa Amua, rugby's fastest forward.
Yeah, but he's doing it for Wellington.
Well, exactly. But this is when he was 18, 19, in fairness. Yeah. I think if you look at him now, he's still doing some damage. I think he absolutely nailed one of the Irish players when they played him this autumn as well. Yeah,
they've unearthed some like amazing players now, like Satiti coming through as well. Like, New Zealand are just going to be a force again, aren't they? Yeah, they always tend to do it.
Yeah, look at him there. Look at that.
He's a monster. He is a monster.
Look at that. Fend, ran the full back, offload.
That could have been the most.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah.
Well, we'll put him in for moments of brilliance because I like that shout. And McNally, I don't really know what he's doing now. So.
Yeah, I think like he's fallen off the face of the planet. He has now. Yeah. He's retired. I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's packed it in. Yeah, I think so. Sorry if you haven't, Stuart. But
my bad.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay, so are you on tight heads?
Yes, I am. Now this one, I've got no honourable mentions. I struggled here for this one, and he is more of a loose head, I'm pretty sure. Now, and this guy has been mentioned on numerous podcasts as well. All right. Now, this could technically be a moment of stupidity as well as a moment of brilliance, but it's Matt Dunning, and it's for his drop goal, which really was, you could technically call it a moment of stupidity because it cost them the game.
Yeah, we talked about this in the first ever episode, Scrum Cap 50.
Yeah.
He was down for it.
But it's not only this drop goal. I was watching one of Andrew Ford's montages the other week, and it came up, and he made two of the most outrageous intercepts I've seen.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah,
but he's a loose head, so don't fucking count.
Yeah, but I was struggling that much. I had to chuck him there, and I'm sure he'd do a job.
I went into the vault, right, because I have got some good ones. Well, the furlong dance versus Scotland.
Yeah, nice.
I think it was against Scotland, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Furlong doing his little dancing against Scotland. Look at his feet. That's ridiculous. But we mentioned him on the last pod.
Yeah.
There's one as well. I remember watching this one live. But Sarah Byrne is the English tight head, and she scored an amazing try against Wales. And I was watching it, and I think I turned it off after this because the score was just getting rattled up. But this is a wicked try for a tight head proper. Feet here, bang.
Oh, that's unreal.
But
Fend as well. Oh, wow.
The number one, and you won't have seen this try. This is before your time. This is a sick try. This is a guy called Richard Bands, okay? He was a tight head for South Africa.
Right.
And this is a try he scored against New Zealand. I can't even remember what year it was. But it's thought of as one of the greatest South African tries and one of the greatest tries by a front row forward. So let's see if we can get to it. This is that's Brayton Pulser, that is.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's class.
What a player he was. Rugby 05 legend he was in my team.
Look at the wheels on him here as well.
Great line, wheels.
He goes through Carlos Spencer as well, and then a tidy finish in the corner.
Oh, that's unreal.
So Richard Bands, that's got to be the...
Yeah, that's the pick for me, I think.
Yeah, it was funny, I was watching a video of it, and it was like Brian Habana and Victor Matfield and stuff talking about the greatest ever Springbok tries, but to do that against possibly New Zealand, we had a class team back then as well.
In their part of their prime years as well.
Yeah, you see Justin Marshall chasing. I think that's Ali Williams in the background. Bounces Carlos Spencer.
Dougie Howlett behind him.
Yeah, Dougie Howlett. No, I think that's Mills Muliaina.
No, Dougie Howlett there, isn't it?
That's Mills Muliaina trying to tackle him. So that's a ridiculous try from a tight end. So
that's mental.
Richard Bands. Never heard of him.
Richard Bands. Never heard of him. No. He'll be famous now.
I'm sure he's well regarded in South Africa. Okay, second rows. My one first.
Yeah.
Okay, my first one is Six Nations try from a Scottish second row. Did you have this one?
Nope, I didn't.
Okay, so Richie Gray throwing the tallest dummy of all time.
He epitomises a Scottish stalwart, isn't he, Richie Gray? Whenever you think of Scotland second rows, it's the Gray brothers.
I love this try. He's obviously big and long anyway, isn't he? But he scores an absolute worldie here. Dummy, and then through and scores.
Gas as well.
And it, second rows shouldn't be doing that.
No.
40 yards out, busting 2 tackles, and then dummy and fullback going over. So his first and only try. He's quite young there as well.
Yeah, spring chicken he is there, isn't he?
He was a wicked player.
Yeah, really good.
Loved him.
Him and his brother was as well. Johnny Boy still is.
Yeah.
So he's still playing in France, isn't he? I'm pretty sure, Richie Gray.
So, yeah.
He's still out in France.
But yeah. Again, just
unit as well.
He's absolutely huge.
Yeah.
So that was my first second row. Who's yours?
So my first second row was Jamie Cudmore. Now this is the most niche pick ever.
You mentioned Cudmore in the last one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But listen to this, right? It is for him listening in on a French line-out playing for Canada. So because he's Canadian and he can speak French, he went over to the French huddle and started listening to what their line-out call was going to be. Because obviously Canadian, he can probably speak French. And he's just eavesdropping in on it. And I just found it brilliant. I think that is such... it's such gamesmanship, but it's so clever, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That never happens. And they'll start pushing him and they're all fuming with him.
Absolute
Just going in, just having a little eavesdrop. You're just listening to their calls. I think that's brilliant, that is. Absolutely brilliant.
I love that one of his other videos is Jamie Cudmore, rugby's biggest thugs. So
He
he's
is.
obviously
Yeah.
a shithouse as
Yeah,
well.
he is. Absolute shithouse. And I love it. He is one of rugby's biggest dog shithouses. But that's quality for me. Absolute quality.
Well, let's do our other 2 second rows and then we can
Yeah.
choose 4. So my other options I had, you probably thought of this one, the Brody Retallick try.
Nope.
So there's a
I've got his mate though.
Yeah, he scores a wonder try. So
Yeah.
IRB try of the year, and there's something. The thing about this try is he actually gets the turnover here. So he makes a tackle, gets a turnover. The play carries on. They go through phase after phase after phase, and then he scores. Well, he scores from quite a distance out, and he looks like a scared man in open field.
She's never been there before.
Never been there, but yeah. So I think he won. I think this won IRB Try of the Year.
Yeah.
He won IRB Player of the Year around this time as well. He was on absolute fire. But this try is just amazing from start to finish.
Oh, yeah.
And what I love about it is how he starts it and finishes it as well.
Yeah.
So he gets the team the ball back, and then he goes and finishes a wonder try at the end. So
he was a brilliant second row. And for me, if I was doing my favourite ever 15 or I think's the best, he would be one of the second rows for me.
yeah, definitely.
Just had everything.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned him in the greatest of all time. But
He's a line-out operator, menace at the breakdown, unreal in defence, great at carrying.
yeah.
He had everything. Absolutely everything.
So I assume you're talking about Whitelock.
Mr. Whitelock, Sam Whitelock, 60-metre try for the Crusaders.
And wasn't it something to do with? It was like his last ever game, or there was some sort of.
There was a stipulation around it, like
Yeah.
a high cap or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. He was breaking some record or something. I remember.
Yeah, maybe most Crusaders games or something.
Yeah, but he's just retired, hasn't he?
Yeah.
This is where he starts from. Is nuts.
Yeah, literally 60 metres out, fends 2 people, steps the fullback, and then just puts another fend on, gas. Hell of a finish.
I love the bang finish as well.
Slam it down. Just let everyone know he's hard as nails.
Yeah. He was a class player as well. That was a good little partnership.
Yeah.
New Zealand had, wasn't it?
You tell the reaction of the players as well. He was getting absolutely gassed up there.
Yeah, I did have that one down as well. So I reckon we pick one of each. I reckon we have the Sam Whitelock and the Richie Gray maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Or the Brody Retallick.
I don't mind. I think the Whitelock, and I'm happy for either of the other two. I think seeing any second row just bandling away down the pitch with their long limbs, just looking confused as to why they're in that position is
We'll go
always
Richie
good.
Gray because
Get a Scottish bloke in there.
yeah, get a Scots.
There's not going to be many.
Yeah.
Get them in there.
Right,
Well then,
blindside flanker. I struggled with this one, to be honest.
I really struggled, and now I've technically cheated slightly.
Yeah, I've cheated as well.
Because I've gone for someone who was wearing the number 6.
Okay.
I haven't gone for a blindside flanker. So this is in a sevens game, right?
Okay.
Francisco Hernandez for Spain, right? He's injured down getting treatment, and a Japanese player breaks the line, and he gets up and he absolutely smokes him, and they get the turnover, and he stops him scoring a try. He's got blood coming down his face. He's getting treatment. It was brilliant.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. You just got to absolutely love YouTube. Any moment with any sort of vigour, you're finding.
So Japan, literally, they break the line and they're gone. It's sevens in there. There's no one in the backfield, and he just gets up, absolutely smokes him, and they get the penalty then as well.
He wasn't even looking.
No, completely smokes him. Look,
get off me.
What's this? Boom!
Oh.
Smokes him.
It's a shame he's not a fucking blindside
Flanker, I
flanker.
know. He's wearing the number 6, so I'm going to take it.
Right, I've got 3, but they're all don't really count, to be honest. I've got 2. Have you ever heard of Jason White, who used to play for Scotland?
Yeah, Jason White.
So
a big hard nut.
You could pick any Jason White hit.
Yeah.
There's one he did on Yeston Harris, which was absolutely.
Am I right in saying he was born in Australia, maybe, or England, or something like that?
Yeah. But yeah, there's one big hit he puts in on Yeston Harris. He absolutely demolishes him.
Oh.
But that's like Yeston Harris going back to his rugby league days, getting slammed like that.
I mean, he's a rugby league player as well, so he's not like he carries soft as well. He's absolutely levelled in there.
Yeah, and he's come. It's like perfect, really, isn't it? He's come from that side, bang. But Jason White, you'll find compilations. He was the biggest, hardest hitter.
Yeah.
in rugby. Like, he was absolutely brutal. I used to love watching him play. So, yeah, I had Jason White as a bit of a hard hitter. And I also had Dan Lidgett for, like, any one of his, like, numerous chop tackles.
Yeah.
I remember him winning Six Nations Player of the Tournament.
Yeah. I remember the one. And he got man of the match in the last game,
against
didn't he?
France. And he put that, like, behind the ruck. He put that massive chop tackle in.
He was a menace. Prime Dan Lidgett. Do you know what? I genuinely would go far as saying that I don't think I've ever seen a better combo than the Lidgett-Warburton combo, in the sense that Lidgett would just go and chop someone and Warburton would be bang straight over the ball. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the perfect combination, wasn't it, of players, what you wanted. It was brilliant.
Yeah, so I think, like, it's not like that one individual moment, but it's like maybe that performance of this game especially, because he sort of went under the radar for the whole Six Nations, and then he had this game, and then everyone was like, "Fuck, he's been amazing for the whole tournament." Actually,
started rewatching the videos and going, actually, he's done this every game.
Yeah. So Dan Lidgett, there's one chop tackle he does, which, you know, like, the momentum changes big tackles, aren't they? And they often just change the momentum of the games, and he would always do that in games. It's just put in a huge hit and then boom, get us on the front foot. So yeah, Jason White or Dan Lidgett, really. And seeing as you didn't even have a fucking blindside flag.
Hey, I'm taking it. He's at number 6. I was struggling big time with that one. But when I saw that, I was like, he's in.
One other one.
He's in.
Rocky Elsom sitting down to Tuilagi in the Heineken Cup final, Leinster versus Leicester. It was a big moment.
He was another human highlight reel.
He was man of the match in this game.
Yeah.
And he put in a ridiculous performance. He obviously had an amazing. We talked about it, didn't we? In the Heineken Cup pod.
We did. Yeah. I think he got in, didn't he? Did he get in the team?
Yeah, he got in the team because he was man of the match in this. But to sit down big bad Tuilagi in that game, but also, like, there was other moments in that game as well against Leicester where, like, have a watch of this one as well.
Yeah.
He gets the ball and he's just making absolutely ridiculous runs and stuff. And this is all in, like, the final as well, which just obviously makes it even more special. So this is like a really long distance run. That's Tom. I think he goes past Tom Croft, dummies Tuilagi,
Fend, bump. Yeah, he's ridiculous.
So Rocky Elsom, Dan Lidgett.
Yeah.
I don't know. We put Rocky in before. Let's put Dan Lidgett in. He doesn't get much shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
7. I've got none other than his partner that I just talked about, Sam Warburton.
Yeah.
Chop tackle on Tuilagi. Another Tuilagi.
Shouts.
Yeah. Won us the tournament, I'm going to go as far as saying. That tackle.
Yeah, big time.
Won us the tournament. Textbook. Coaches probably show that video to youngsters on literally exactly what you want to do.
Well, how many times out of 100 would Tuilagi be scoring now? Like, he's like,
99. Yeah,
he looks like he's in for every penny he's in there, and Warburton just wraps him up.
Yeah, literally. Even though Lidgett was the best chop tackler I've seen, that is the best chop tackle that I've ever seen. I think. Like you said earlier with the Gethin Jenkins one, what that did for Wales and the moment itself, like
What's the score? It's 3-3.
Yeah, game defining. It's a Six Nations defining. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think we win that game. If they get a score there, momentum completely changes, and I think that's a different scoreline.
Yeah, that's a really good shout. I hadn't even thought of that for some reason. Did you have any honourable mentions?
No. That was in a class of his own for me, that one.
Have you ever seen Richie McCaw with an upside down turnover?
Oh, I think I remember this.
So
he didn't he fall over the tackle, doesn't he? And didn't he rip it from him? I think
he rips it as he's falling upside down. Let's see if they've got footage of it. Okay, so this is Richie McCaw with possibly the most impossible turnover of all time. So jumps on his back like a backpack, falls to the floor, and steals it on the way down. He was obviously the best turnover.
Yeah.
The best turnover merchant ever.
But the best cheater ever, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because but that was being a 7, isn't it? It's what can you get away with? And he was brilliant today.
Yeah. So I had that down as well. Did I have any other moments from 7s? Oh, I also had the Tipperick versus England.
Oh yeah. I thought you were going to say his try for Ospreys.
Oh yeah, that one was good as well. The thing with Tipperick, there's so many, isn't there? Like this one off kick-off as well, which he finished off. So we were losing quite badly. 20 points to 9. We scored off kick-off. Yeah, Navidi was involved.
Oh God, I wish we had Navidi back now.
I know.
Be unbelievable.
Oh, and Tipperick.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous try. Probably that was more of a team try. But yeah, I reckon we'll go Sam Warburton for that tackle. That was an awesome tackle.
Yeah.
Right. Who's starting with number 8?
So is it you starting number 8? I went first for 7, yeah.
We're getting very Welsh on this, aren't we? But they obviously mean a lot more. They obviously mean a lot more to us.
Yeah.
But there was a try that Toby Faletau scored against New Zealand for the Lions.
Yeah.
And it wasn't particularly the best try ever.
Yeah.
It was what was around it. So the New Zealand media were obviously on Faletau's back saying he wasn't tough enough.
Yeah.
I think one of their players, one of their ex-players came out and said he hasn't really got the mongrel in him. And yeah, he's just not tough enough. And then literally a few days later, they had the test match and he scored this try where he sits down Israel Dag. Was it Israel Dag, the fullback?
I don't think.
Yeah, is Israel Dag in it as the fullback?
Yeah.
Sits him down and scores in the corner.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we went on to win this one, didn't we? Because they got the red cards. So it was a really massive moment. So that and the whole media spiel about him not being tough enough, he just proved everyone wrong. Just because he was a bit of a silent assassin, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Quiet guy, like.
I'd go as far as saying he was the most underrated number 8 of all time. Yeah. Or is, because he technically is still currently playing. But I think, like you said, the magnitude completely changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah.
And like you said, everything surrounding it, I think that's definitely a good choice. He was quality that tour as well, I remember. He was brilliant. Really, really, really good. My one, again, struggled with this one, but this was my one where almost like my Dane Coles pick, where we could just go through and probably pick so many. It was Parise.
Yeah. Mr.
Italy. The amount of times he would just pluck a moment of brilliance out of thin air for Italy to get him back into a game, to score a vital try, whatever it was. Like that, look at that there.
He's a freak.
We
talked about him on the last one, but do you know there's only one correct answer for this number 8 position, and I was leaving it. I thought you were just going to say it, so I was leaving it for you.
Something that I completely. I mentioned him in a previous video, and I completely forgot about it.
The 2011 World Try of the Year. Radiki Samo scoring an absolute wonder try.
Yeah.
Against New Zealand. He came out of nowhere. He didn't play for Australia very long, and this try is just absolutely ridiculous.
Scary bloke as well, isn't he? Look at him, he's huge.
Like we talk about him on another pod, and there's not lots of information around about him. Like I'm not really sure who he played for. He just sort of burst on the scene, scored an absolute wonder try, writ his name in folklore, and then just disappeared off the face of the planet.
Didn't he? He literally disappeared. He was playing really well, and then
he was stopped. I think he was quite old when he got into the.
Yeah, he does look about 48 there. To be
fair. When he got into the Australia setup, he was quite old. But this is just like when you talk about wonder tries. This is just an absolute wonder try. To split New Zealand like that, and then just put on the absolute burners.
Yeah,
he has no question what he's going to do. He's just like, right, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, literally just head down, arse up.
Yeah,
going for it.
I thought you would have mentioned that one.
Do you know what? I mentioned it on previously, and I've had different, whether me and you have been texting about stuff. Can't believe I forgot about him, to be honest with you.
That's the correct answer.
Of course it is. 100% it is. It's the only right answer.
Right, that's our pack. So
pack sorted.
Oh, we bloody love rugby, so what do you think of this XP? Oh, we bloody love rugby, so what do you think of it?
Okay, after that musical interlude by Sean James, did you like his?
I did. It's making me like him more. So I could possibly see us being friends in the near future.
Potentially.
Maybe. It's a big maybe.
You know he's going to tear this team apart, isn't he?
Of course he is.
But it's subjective.
Of course it's subjective. Of course it is. So fuck you, Sean.
Right, let's go to scrum half.
Scrum half, right. Well, the blindingly obvious pick, which you probably have down, but I thought it's boring to go with this, so I'm going to go as an honorable mention, would be the tackle from DuPont or Mac Hansen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the
lift where he literally all he had to do was dive and he lifted him and he brought him back. Like, that was ridiculous. Like, not just the strength to do that, but like the technique to like of how to stand to ensure that he just can't get there, and again the magnitude of the game, and like that would completely tip the momentum. Like, it was an unreal tackle. Ridiculous tackle.
Yeah, you know what? I don't really get the hype with Mac Hansen.
Like, how is he not scoring there?
I know.
Like,
he's
that is nuts.
Strongest dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
Strongest.
He's so strong. And look, don't get me wrong, that's unbelievable. But we could put DuPont in here for, his offloads for Toulouse. Remember when he went in that one game at 10? I think he threw like 3 try assists, which were all like out the back offloads.
I was thinking of DuPont like coming on in that Olympics 7s and turning the game around to help them win gold as well. But
yeah. He's one of those. He's going to have several, and he's going to have way more to come as well. So, but I went with his French teammate Nolan Le Garrec for his pass against Wales. Do you remember that? I think it was last year's Six Nations.
Yeah,
that was nuts. Like, I've seen it happen a couple of times, but not very often. The thing is, it's one of those like he means it clearly because otherwise he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Like, he looks before, like, that is ridiculous.
That's got to be like 50 meters. Like, out the back, like the spin on it and everything.
Look at what it leads to as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Look how far they get at the pitch. Look, he looks beforehand, so he knows what he's doing. And the technique on it.
I just watched the Bordeaux he plays for, doesn't he? With
he was a Racing.
Yeah, but I'm sure he plays for... Oh, maybe he does.
Yeah, he plays for Racing, I'm pretty sure. Because Luku is the Bordeaux scrum half.
Is he the bold one?
Yeah, the bold one, yeah. Luku is the bold one who plays with Jalibert at Bordeaux.
Racing, he scored a couple of tries. And I was like, if it wasn't for like the greatest player on the planet, he would be starting for France.
It was same with Baptiste Saran. He's been playing unreal for Toulon and he's been quality, but you've got the best player arguably of all time in front of you, and it's like they would get in, maybe apart from Ireland with Gibson Park, they get in every Six Nations team.
Well, I've got 2, and they're completely different ends of the spectrum. So I've got the Gareth Edwards try, not the Barbars one, the one he scores against Scotland.
I think I know the one,
where he ends up with a face full of mud.
I was going to say it was absolutely stinking the weather, wasn't it?
But like, I went on a bit of a Gareth Edwards wormhole because we were doing like our greatest players of all time. And I can't believe how good he is in the 70s and how much better he is than everyone.
Yeah.
Like things like chip and chase with those balls, like the speed, the strength of him. And that's an absolute wonder try.
People are very quick to forget, aren't they, about players? I think like there's so much, whatever sport you talk about, whether it's football, rugby, cricket, tennis, there's so much recency bias in what people say. And I think people forget, and and people turn around and will say, well, if he was playing it nowadays, he wouldn't even get a look in. But he wasn't, though, is he?
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he's just got to play what's in front of him.
Exactly, yeah. And he was miles better than everyone else at the time. And I think if you look at how good he was compared to everyone else, I think that's how you've got to judge players now. Yeah. Is how good they are compared to their competition.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we're seeing that with DuPont. And I think he will be the best scrum half of all time, hands down. But he was miles better than every single player.
And like it's iconic. That try is iconic with like the face full of mud afterwards. Like it's got a bit of everything. Like it's got the speed, the strength to hand someone off, then the chip and chase.
Yeah.
Like, so I love that try. And there was also another moment. Van der Westhuizen in a World Cup final, which they won. Remember how good Jonah Loma was in that World Cup? Remember he was tearing England apart? Yeah. Like, everyone was like basically scared to tackle him. Yeah. He makes a massive break, and this is the kind of thing he'd score from. Yeah. But Van der Westhuizen just wraps him up.
That tackle is textbook as well.
And they go on to win this World Cup. So it's only a small moment, but just
Yeah.
remembering how destructive Lomu was, and Van der Vestes being a scrum half.
Yeah.
And yeah, he puts a couple of tackles in on Jonah
Oof.
Lomu. Like, you know, scrum halves are normally the smallest on the field, and he literally took the ball off him twice. So, yeah, they were my two choices. God, he puts 3 tackles in on Lomu.
Yeah.
So
He's got
yeah,
him on lock, isn't
Van
he?
der Vestes, and what a scrum half he was.
He was.
Right, okay, so who wins that one?
That's a tough one for me. How are you judging it? Are we looking at the individual moment itself, or are we looking at it as a whole?
Well, Van der Vestes is probably out. It's not like an individual moment of brilliance. Yeah. I'd say it's between Gareth Edwards and DuPont. And I got beat. Gareth Edwards got beat by DuPont in the last one, so I really want to go Gareth Edwards.
Fine by me. Fine by me.
Because DuPont,
Get him in.
we put.
You can put him in every single one.
yeah. Because DuPont,
Yeah.
like one greatest scrum at. We put him
Strongest.
in as
Most handsome. You go in whatever team comes in the future or whatever team has been done previously. He could fit in, unless you went players before DuPont's time. 15.
He's gonna. But that try is iconic. So.
Yeah.
Okay, this is when you're coming into your own now.
Oh yeah, this is my jam. This is me. This is what I've spent hours on now as a child growing up, looking at fly halves and watching what they do and moments of brilliance. If I had £1 for every YouTube hour of footage I watch, I'd be a very rich man.
Rugby dump. Back in the day. Okay,
sight.
do you want to start then?
I will. Now, there's a very obvious fly half who is the greatest fly half of all time.
Yeah.
I have shifted him to number 12 though because he has played 12 before and I want to fit in some others.
Are you on about Dan Carter?
I am on about Dan Carter.
We talked about this. We said that Dan Carter started off as a 12. He was coming on for Aaron Major at 12 and then he moved over to 10 after a few years, didn't he?
He did. And so I'm going to talk about him at 12, but I'll talk about my 10s. So I got an honourable mention. And again, this guy is going to have a catalogue of them by the time he retires, and that's Finn Russell.
Tell me, I know which one this is.
It's going to be the nutmeg.
Oh, no. I've got another one.
You've got another one. Oh, right, so there was the pass against England.
That's the one.
Hugh Jones, right? So there's that. But then his nutmeg against Munster in the Champions Cup. Like, to then pick it up, go in and score.
Playing for Racing,
Yeah, playing for Racing in this. Was just amazing. And he's my honourable mention.
I had his pass against England, and the video on YouTube is pass of the century or something.
Look at that. Off his weak foot mind as well. That's a weak foot nutmeg, regather and score. And I just thought that was absolutely outrageous.
You know, I actually really love that. Like he is such a G, isn't he?
Yeah, he's brilliant. But do you know what? He's known for his moments of brilliance, and he's known for being a maverick. But I think where he's got a lot of experience now, I think he controls the game really well now. He's definitely gotten so much better in that aspect.
He's reined it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's show his pass as well. His pass was like
best pass or second best pass I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know how it gets there, and it's like in between defenders. It's like absolutely perfect. Hugh Jones hits it like a train as well.
I think a nod to Hugh Jones for the depth he held, so he could just run onto it like you said.
I'm pretty sure Scotland when they
shout the cameraman as well for this view as well.
Yeah, they battered him in the end, didn't they? And Hugh Jones was amazing in that game. Yeah, that pass is just
sensational. You know, he'll be up there with your DuPonts in terms of the catalogue of moments of brilliance. But there's one that's quite niche, and we are going to. Part of it, what makes it so good is the commentary as well, right?
Yeah,
so it's Mitch Hunt's drop goal for the Crusaders. Time's gone. He gets the ball. He's going into the pocket to control, and he doesn't expect it really. I don't think he does anyway. So it's this one here.
Yeah,
we'll have a listen.
Wow. Mitch Hunt with a drop goal. Mitch Hunt with a drop goal.
Literally 80 second minute, time gone, right, on his own, 45 metres out. He's behind the ruck and he's calling. I thought he didn't expect it, but actually he's gone, nah, do you know what? Fuck it, give me the ball.
Yeah.
I'm just going to whack it, take a shot. And he's staring at it and he's like, oh, I've actually done it. And then he just goes absolutely bonkers. And that was like, that is crazy. Like, when you think of moments of brilliance, right? Not only the technique and the skill, but the composure to do that in the scenario that you're in against one of your, your rivals. That for me, along with the comms as well. The comms made it for me. It's absolutely brilliant. Makes me laugh. But that was my moment of brilliance.
I've got one more as well, which is Carlos Spencer playing for the Blues. So they've got absolutely no right to run this ball. It comes to him. I think time's gone in it, or like time's about to finish. So we'll have a look at the time on the clock. So it's 31:29, right? It was a minute left. So you're thinking, right, they're on their own line, their own 5 metre line. You're thinking, right, just kick the ball, go for a defensive set and win the game.
Yeah.
Carlos Spencer has other plans. So Carlos Spencer throws a pass, a miss pass to Joe Roccathocco. They obviously break out from their own line. And this Auckland Blues team was absolutely ridiculous as well.
Mental, weren't they?
And then Carlos Spencer turns back up, scores the try, and watch the brazen arrogance here. He knows what the clock's on. He's done everyone. He just slows it down, walks all the way over to the corner. His whole team come. He hasn't even put the ball down yet. He hasn't even put the ball down. Just letting that clock go down, puts it down right on the corner flag. And I'm pretty sure he goes and scores that, kicks the conversion to win it as well.
Oh, man.
Shout out Rugby Dump, because that's where the website used to go on.
Yeah, legendary website. That's a cracking one, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Carlos Spencer, that Auckland Blues team.
Yeah, they were sensational, weren't they? They were the what was our sort of modern day Crusaders, wasn't it? Yeah. They had all the superstars.
The only other one I had was it's more of a performance. I think what we'll do is we'll do like a greatest performances ever team.
Yeah.
But Dan Carter's try versus the Lions.
Yeah.
So they absolutely battered the Lions.
Oh yeah, mate, I remember
on this tour, and he scored 33 points in this game. We talk about it in the last pod as the greatest of all time. But it was this try. He just makes it look so easy. He's just does the whole team and scores.
That's where he really came on the scene, wasn't it? It was that Lions tour.
Like, now you're the best player on the planet.
Yeah, easy.
So yeah, what do we reckon then on that?
Do you know, fun fact? He put an Instagram post out asking about like a favourite Dan Carter moment for a competition. I said about that try being the best, and he liked my comment.
Did he?
Yeah, I cried like a little baby. My hero.
Oh, do you want to hear my story about Dan Carter? Yeah. I bought him a bottle of Corona in Life Bar in town. It used to be called Life and Liquid.
Yeah.
I bought him a bottle of Corona and he picked it up and then he just put it to the side.
Don't worry, Dan, I don't know, mate.
I must have been hammered. Right, whose wins are then?
I'm going to say Finn Russell wins that for me.
Yeah.
For the two that we said.
Yeah. I think it's got to be the pass, though, man.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, again, though, catalogue, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Of just moments.
Okay.
Right, are we going to go to centres, then do back three, or are we going to go 11?
Yeah, we'll do centres first. And you could do them as... Oh, no, we don't need to do them as pairs, do we? Because it's individual moments, so...
Yeah. Right, it's on you, isn't it?
Okay, start. Right, well, there's only one thing I'm going to pick here, and that's Scott Gibbs' try versus England at Wembley.
Yeah. That was my honourable mention.
So there's a video on YouTube of this try for 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
I found it before, and it's just basically this try because, I don't know, this game, the Millennium Stadium was being built, and it got pushed to Wembley. So we had to play England at home, but in Wembley.
Yeah.
So this was like a home game for us, and I think we stopped them from winning the Six Nations or winning the Grand Slam or something.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
But it was just like it just came out of nowhere, really. Like just normal Scott Gibbs carry, but the things he does, he's making England players run into each other.
Iconic step as well, isn't it?
And then that fist, and then everyone forgot that Neil Jenkins had to kick the goal to win, but you knew he was going to kick it because he was amazing. So I had Scott Gibbs as one, and the other one, I just had that and the Osduran bounce he did as well. There's iconic moments, but yeah.
Yeah, he was in there for my honourable mentions of the try against England. So, and Wales were terrible at that time as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
It was and to stop them winning it was just the icing on the cake, to be honest with you. So as mentioned previously, he was my honourable mention, but I've gone for Dan Carter. So I've shifted him because I did want to try and get him in the team. But there were so many others for 10. I thought I could try and spread it out a bit. So slight cheating, but like we said, he did start off as a 12. So the one was the Lions try. But one thing we haven't mentioned as well was the conversion in the wind.
Oh, yeah.
That conversion where he banana kicks a conversion.
Yeah.
And it's on his wrong side as well because he's a left footer.
Yeah.
So it's not even like it's on his good side.
But it's like he just kicks it towards the stands, doesn't it?
But you can tell by his ball placement, it's all on purpose.
Yeah.
He's doing it on purpose. He faces it off to the left so he can banana it round. It's nuts.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Oh my God.
It's absolutely
It's like
bonkers.
a Roberto Carlos free kick,
It
isn't it?
is.
But he's not a 12 though, is he?
Huh?
He's not a 12 though, is he?
He's 12 in my eyes.
He played 12 for like a season.
He'd be my 1 to 15, he would.
What, you play him 12 in like a
I play him 1 through 15.
Oh, 1 through 15. He's going to struggle at scrums.
Yeah, mate. I don't care. Don't matter. Just banana kick every penalty and we'll win. So it's fine.
It's a shame that Scott Gibbs has to go in there because he's
Welsh.
Yeah, and he's Welsh. And that try is...
Yeah.
I think for Welsh rugby folklore, that is the most iconic try.
I'd say so.
Like, there's the Cuthbert tries against England when we beat them 30 points to 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd only argue Gareth Davis in the World Cup against England in 2015.
Oh yeah, true. That's iconic. As well, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the only one I'd say comes close to it, probably.
Yeah. And then like George North's try, but that was for the Lions, wasn't it? So that doesn't count. But that Scott Gibbs try is the most iconic Welsh moment. Okay.
Yeah.
13.
1 man only.
Yes.
Brian O'Driscoll.
Yeah, Brian O'Driscoll.
And I'm going to go through all 3 of the ones I have here at moments, which I couldn't pick from. I've got so many. There's actually, you've just included one now, which isn't on mine, but it's there.
Can you remember it?
Mate. Oh, no, I can remember.
It was about 19...
I've got 3 ones, which I even think are arguably better than this. And this is that iconic. This is why this man is the only deserving. And I go as far as saying he's my captain at the moment, so brilliant's 15. So this try is unbelievable, right? 19 Lions tour. It was his first Lions tour as well, wasn't it?
Well, he burst on the... I hadn't heard of him. And I was quite young, but I hadn't really heard of him. And then he did this. And it was a step on the fullback as well. He was so good, man.
Really, really good. And...
so good.
So I've got something to do with the Lions down. And I don't know if you've seen this clip, but it's in Lions training.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, the chipper.
The chip, and where he goes to pass to the left and throws out the back to the right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
So I've got that on there, right?
Do you know what? I love this so much. Is like his little laugh at the end. And he obviously he pretends to pass it to the right and puts it out the back door to Halfpenny.
Yeah.
And everyone's just laughing, you can tell, can't you?
Yeah.
They're just like, oh my God. Look at Cuthbert laughing in the background. He's
just
like an absolute freak.
And in fact, he doesn't even turn around. He doesn't even turn around to go and look at it.
He ended up not playing in that 3rd test, which was so mad, wasn't it? Because he played John Davis. And John Davis was amazing.
He was unbelievable.
Game, wasn't he?
Unbelievable. He was crazy good. Because they were playing in the first 2 tests. Davis was playing 12, wasn't he? And O'Driscoll was playing 13. Yeah. And they brought Robertson. But at the end of the day, it worked, didn't it? And it was proper harsh on him. However, it came off. The other 2 I got down there for Brian O'Driscoll, which we haven't mentioned, that is the only time this has ever been done, because I'm pretty sure they banned it afterwards, was to throw over the player. Yeah. So we got that one for Leinster.
The weird pass thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, he threw it over his own player to himself.
Yeah. Why can you not do that anymore?
Because I don't actually. I'm trying to think of what rule it would sort of. The only thing I could see it doing is maybe causing crossing.
Yeah, crossing. I was thinking,
but I don't. I'm really struggling still to see. That was it back there, wasn't it?
He did it a few times.
No, that was a dummy. Yeah.
I don't.
Look, he's got his own moments of genius. Video. That's it there.
Yeah, that's crossing now.
Yeah,
isn't it?
crossing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's down as. But yeah, that was mad at the time. He was so inventive, wasn't he?
And the other one I got as well again was the double chip against Wasps.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
that was sick.
yeah. Where he didn't even pick it up and just chipped it again.
Yeah, did it even bounce?
That was it. The try versus Wasps. I think it bounced once and then he chipped it back over again.
Yeah, man, I've forgotten about that one. That was a sick try.
Ridiculous.
There's been a few of those recently, actually. I think like Box scored one as well recently.
So he gets it somewhere around here, I think. Yeah, he gets it here on the wing. They go blind, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Just put it in his hands.
Yeah, chips over the top, bounces once.
Bonk. That's amazing. He is like, for moments of brilliance, he's got a catalogue, hasn't he?
El Capitano.
Catalogue. That's amazing. But yeah, we'll definitely put him in. I don't even want to guess which one it's going to be. Have you got any more?
No, that was it for 13. It wasn't right to put even any honourable mentions in.
But like,
for 13.
The thing is, like, we just named those then, but he's obviously just scored loads of really good tries as well.
Yeah.
They're like iconic, mad brilliance moments, but he's also scored like 50-metre tries and 60-metre tries all over the place. Oh man, best 13 ever.
Oh, easy.
Right, on to our back three.
There was going to be one honourable mention, but it's the only clip I've never been able to find, right? I've liked it on my Instagram, but it doesn't say who it is, right? Yeah. I've got a feeling it's Filippo Dalguni, he plays for the Reds and he played for Australia. And I don't know if you remember it. He did a dummy out the back offload and he brought it back round over the player.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether it was Dalguni or not. He didn't say, but it does look like him.
I remember it.
Yeah. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, he's sort of like, it's on the wing, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's sort of like, as if he's putting it out the back door.
Brings it back over, yeah.
I do remember that.
So that was my honourable mention. The two that I've got, though, are pretty iconic in fairness, and they've been replayed multiple times over numerous compilation videos. The first one is Simon Zebo against Wales.
Yeah.
Where the pass goes to his foot and he does like a back heel kick up to himself, which then leads to a try. I remember watching that and I thought if he had scored it, it would have been even better, right?
Yeah, it was, I tell you who scored. It was Rory Best scored.
Rory Best, yeah. I was in the stadium for that.
Yeah, we got back.
Oh, it was Keane Healy actually who scored.
Was it Keane?
Yeah, Rory Best got the charge.
Yeah, and we got we were getting thumped early goals, weren't we? Oh, that's nuts.
That takes some doing that.
The Millennium Stadium's pitch looks haggard there.
Terrible. I hope they sack the groundsman.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
I hope they gave him his P45 straight after that.
let me see if we can get a slow mo of that. That was so nice. It must have been a terrible pass to him. It was Rory Best.
Yeah, Rory Best. We'll let him off as Rory Best.
Scrum cap 15.
But that's one thing that's always baffled me. I know it's different technique, but Unreal are throwing lineouts, but then they just can't pass a ball normally.
Yeah.
You think they'd have
different skill though. Yeah. It's such a closed skill for a lineout. That is lush.
That's ridiculous.
Nice.
Unreal cover tackle. And the other one is arguably the best offload /pass I've ever seen in my life. And that is the Dylan Lades offload out the back to SP Murray. And they went in to score for the Stormers. Lades is double L. Is that it? Yeah. This is it? Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, this is, yeah. Yeah, this is.
So this was the Chiefs' try, this first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
and that was the try of the year, I'm pretty sure. They gave. But then this one here. And that's Colby, that is. Before we started. Yeah, Ches and Colby put the kick through. I didn't realise. That there is ridiculous. That, if you think a moment of brilliance, that is it. Yeah. Right? That is ridiculous. It's the best offload I've ever seen. I remember watching that and my mouth was just open.
It's the way he's just sat down as well.
Yeah. And again, meant it. He's completely meant that.
Yeah, he's looked exactly like he's passing it. Nice. I think that one's definitely going to be a contender. I've got this is a bit of an old school one, but New Zealand used to have a winger called John Kerwin. And he scored...
He's a pundit now, isn't he? Is he a pundit? I'm pretty sure he is in New Zealand.
He scored an absolute cracker against Italy in the 1987 World Cup. Again, like defence looked a bit optional, to be honest. But it's straight off kick-off and he's just a mazy run. He was a fantastic fantastic winger, so quick, and he pretty much takes on their entire team. They can't even brand on him.
Yeah. Reminds me a bit of Bowden Barrett. I don't know why.
Yeah,
In the way he's going. Do you know what I mean? Oh, what a try that is.
That is a great try.
Yeah.
So, yeah, John Kerwin. I also had, I think I mentioned this one to you as a little bit of a sneak preview, Luke Morahan's try against the Lions.
Oh, God, what a try that was. Unbelievable try.
Like, obviously, was he even getting the Australia squad at the time?
No, it wasn't. That got him, I'm pretty sure, a contract with Bristol when he came over here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that try put him on the map and pretty much got him his contract.
But like the Lions was like they were obviously playing it as like a midweek game, but this is just a wonder try. Like this is show the grandkids this, and they're like take on a whole team,
chip over the top. What a try that is!
That is a wonder try, especially against the Lions. And I've also got one other, which I think is one of my favourite tries of all time, is Ngwenya in the World Cup versus Habana. So the thing about this one is, God, that was filmed on a potato.
This is some proper.
That was filmed on a 3310.
Yeah.
Brian Habana was the best winger on the planet at the time.
So-called the fastest as well.
Yeah, so-called the fastest. This is just a great try anyway. Like everything before you get into it, but the wheels here, in, out, and it absolutely burns the ball on the outside.
Burns in.
It's one of my favourite tries of all time. That I remember going absolutely nuts because it's not like what the Rugby World Cup still does really well is underdog stories. Yeah. So obviously like Japan beating South Africa, but like even just a minnow team. I know it's America, but they are a bit of they're a minnow team still scoring an amazing try against against a world leading team. So
and again, it's a nice story that I'm pretty sure that got him his contract with Biarritz then, didn't it? Because he went on to play for Biarritz for years. So it's the stage, isn't it, for all the minnows to they get up for it because it's like, right, I can get a contract here. Look at all the Portuguese players now, they're all playing in France. Yeah. It's great.
So I reckon we get one each. So I reckon I'll have Ngwenya and then you.
I gotta go Lades. Gotta be. He's my favourite pass ever.
What's his first name?
Dylan.
Dylan Lades and Ngwenya. Okay, yeah, that I still love that try.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got one position left, fullback. I've actually got 3 names down.
I got 2. I got a really interesting honourable mention.
Go on then. Oh, is it me first?
It is you first.
Well, I've got the Christian Cullen try. Have you got that one?
I haven't got that one. No, I do know the one you're talking about, and it is brilliant in fairness.
So there's a Christian Cullen try, which I think he's playing for the Hurricanes or was it Wellington or whoever it may be. So yeah, this is a ridiculous try. Is it this one? No, he scored a better one than this. This is just him scoring 95-metre tries on his own. Yeah. This one versus the Waratahs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this try. So yeah, I had this one down. I had Liam Williams' steps to start that try against the Lions.
Yeah.
So I had that down. And I've got one other which I'll show you after. So yeah, Christian Cullen, what can you say about him? He was the best attacking fullback ever.
Yeah.
I've also got JPR's tackle. You'll love this.
Is it the one where it's not the one where he does this? No,
I don't know, but he
stands over him or something, doesn't he? I remember it.
It's just like a shoulder drive, and then he just
boom. Oh,
so illegal. That's like a red card and a long ban these days. Yeah. But he was just an absolute
encouraged back then. Encouraged that was.
So yeah, they were my ones.
So it's good because I got 2 completely different ones to yours. So my first one is my honourable mention, and I'm looking back on it now, and arguably you could probably put either of them in here as my first choice. But I'm going to stick with it how it is, and my honourable mention is semi-pro player, Ed Howley.
Oh yeah,
when he headed over the player for Bridgend against Swansea, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Okay, so we've had to go into the vaults to find this try so you can see it. But essentially, do you want to comms us through, Rees?
Yeah. So it's a little chip through, grubber across the floor. Ed Howley kicks it through while it's still on the floor. It bounces, headers over the top of the fullback, catches it and runs in to score. I think the Swansea players are a bit bemused. You can see they're a bit like, oh, yeah, that's allowed, but I've never really seen that before.
I'm surprised not more people have used that as some sort of tactic. I don't know. Could it be? Is it a thing? I don't know. It's like weird, but it's quite cool in there.
Just heads it over. Again, a moment of brilliance because it's never really been seen before. I don't think I've ever seen it before apart from that one.
No.
And one that I've gone for is Francois Steyn, the 60-metre drop goal for Racing, where he just gets kicked the ball and he just absolutely leathers it. And it just goes flying over the sticks with about 15 metres to spare, mind as well. Like, he could have gone way further back and still got that ball.
He was renowned for his long-range drop goals, wasn't he? He just had an absolute cannon of a foot.
He did.
He went for so long. He played for so long, didn't he?
Yeah, played for ages. Only just retired.
He played against him in South Africa.
Yeah, he won 3 World Cups, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a cannon in there.
Look, he's
it goes over the post.
Yeah, he's still got another 15 metres still to go. But what I love about it is, like, he's just caught it, and that's the first time someone's gone, fuck it. Yeah, go on, let's have a go. 60 metres out.
Yeah. Like, drop goal go through a thing where they're like a weapon for a little bit, aren't they? And everyone sort of forgets about a drop goal and then they come back again. That's an absolute cannon.
Oh, I've never seen a drop goal caught more perfectly as well. So aesthetically pleasing.
We'll put that in because we put lots of long range tries and stuff, and it's nice to put in something a little bit different.
Yeah.
A moment like that, like a long range kick. It's got legs on it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
He on his own 22 and then probably got close.
I like to think there's a lot of wind there. Otherwise, I'm just jealous.
He obviously started doing that because he played at altitude in South Africa.
So it's probably in his head. It's probably like, I kick from here in South Africa all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so that's our team. So, God, that's a ragtag bunch, isn't it? I love it.
That is, jeez.
Okay.
That is Jouet. That team is Jouet.
All right, who's captain?
That's got to be Brian O'Driscoll for me personally.
Yeah, I just got really excited watching some of his clips back.
Yeah.
So he definitely gets it. Right, I'm happy with that. You happy?
I am happy, indeed.
Who won?
What a team.
Whose choices went for? It doesn't matter who won. Rugby won.
Rugby is the winner. It's always the winner.
Yeah, and individual moments won.
Yeah.
Right, that's our team. Thank you.